taking a look at Mission Model paints today. This is a new line of paints that just came in, and it's a really nice line of paints. The color chart here shows you that there's a myriad of colors. There's a lot of great Federal Standard colors, German RAL colors, metallics, tints, just all kinds of great colors. And Mission Model paints are water-based paints, and I'll read it right off the jar here. It says these are permanent water-based paints, work on plastic, resin, and metal. And they come in 1 ounce jars, and it's really, really nice refined organic pigment. It's a really strong pigmented paint. The colors are really vibrant, which is really impressive. And I also have a primer, the Mission Models primer, and I have thinner and a polyurethane additive. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind with Mission Models is that you need to mix the paints according to their recommendations. In other words, thin them properly. Okay. So let's take a look at Mission Models paints. It's a great product. It's made here in the US. I have no problems getting it, stocking it. It's never really out of stock. It's a really great product. So let's shoot some primer on a piece that I have sitting over here. I have a tank model. We're going to shoot primer on it, see how that goes on, and then put some color on it. So let's take a look at Mission Model paints. I'm going to mix, and I have my thinner here. This is the thinner. It's a reducer thinner. I'm going to mix, I think, 20 drops of this because I've got a big tank to paint, which means I'm going to put in 6 to 8 drops of thinner. Okay, so 30, 40%. So we'll sit here, and I use these little plastic cups. We'll count off the drops. 1, 2. Okay, so that's 20 drops of paint. And I like to, since the thinner's a lot thinner, I use eyedroppers so I get a more exact mix. So I'm going to put in 6 drops of thinner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll tell you what, we'll go 7. It's right in between, 30, 40%. And once you've got your thinner and your paint in the cup, just take a brush and mix it up. See what I'm doing there? Just going to mix up the thinner. Make sure I got it thoroughly mixed. And the thinner, according to the literature, activates the primer. So we've mixed up the primer, and now we're going to shoot it onto the tank. All right, so now the piece is all primed up. We use the Mission Models primer. We mixed 30 to 40% reducer or thinner into the primer, shot it onto the tank parts. I put it back together. You can see it's really, really nice. This primer goes on really super smooth. Even if it gets a little thick in areas, it shrinks down as it dries. And it's very durable, really good durable finish. So now we'll move on and check out the Mission Model paint, the actual colors. And this time we'll use the reducer, and it'll be 20 to 30% thinner into the paint. And we're also going to use the polyurethane coat, which is 20 to 30% mixed into the paint. So we're going to do olive drab, and then I have a couple other olive colors for dark shade and highlight if we get that far. So let's take a look at mixing Mission Models colors. Let's take some of the Mission Models paint and brush it on by hand. I've got my brushes here. The instructions say that if you mix polyurethane with the regular paint, it slows the drying time down, which is a good thing for figure painters. So let's check out brushing on Mission Models. This is a dark tan. I'm just going to use some of these Masterbox figures and just put a little bit of paint on them. I use these metal mixing cups when I hand paint. These are AK. They're modeling paint wells. You buy a dozen of them cheap, and they come in really handy. So a few drops of paint. We'll put a drop or two of poly in here. Put 2 in. And then we'll keep a little thinner on the side, just in case. So I'm going to mix the poly into this paint. Probably mix a little thinner too if I want to do glazes or make this a thinner wash of paint. So let's see how it goes on the figure. Just take one of these Masterbox 35th scale figures, take a little bit of the paint, put them on. We'll do this quickly. It goes on nicely with a brush. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm painting in his arm, and it's going on like a nice glaze, settling down into the recess areas, leaving the highlights a lighter color. So Mission Model Paints brushes on nicely with the polyurethane mixed in, and I'm sure if you mix the thinner in, it would do the same. So good for brush painting. So what are my impressions of Mission Models paints? I think this is a really high quality product. The pigment is high quality. The instruction sheet here is great. It tells you everything you need to know in order to use this product, this paint. Mixing ratios are pretty crucial, and I think it's great because they give you the ratios here, which some paint manufacturers never do that. They never tell you exactly how much of what to mix into the paint to have it spray well. And I followed these instructions and had absolutely no problems. Basically, when you spray their primer, the gray primer, which we did first, you have to add 30 to 40% thinner or reducer. Easy, 30 to 40%. So in other words, 10 drops of paint, 3-4 drops of thinner. No polyurethane in the primer. So you shoot your primer with just thinner. If you're shooting paint, it's 20 to 30% polyurethane, 20 to 30% reducer. You use both of them in the paint. And this polyurethane is great. It gives you a nice satiny sheen, hard finish on the paint, which you can go over in either gloss or flat, but it just puts down a really nice coat of paint and it makes it nice and strong and solid. So when you're going into weather and put other mediums on it, thinners, terps, things, it won't react with the paint. Really good stuff. We hand painted with it. We painted a figure over here, put some paint on a figure. It brushed on nicely. I mixed some of the polyurethane into it, which slowed down the drying time. I'm sure you can just use the thinner. But in general, this is a great product. It's made here in the USA, which means this product's always going to be available, hopefully always, but no shipping problems. We keep full racks of it, and I can't recommend this product highly enough. I think that the color selection is awesome. The color selection includes Federal Standard colors, metallics, RLM, German colors, World War II colors, car colors at the bottom, tints, transparents. This is really, really good stuff. So I highly recommend Mission Models paints if you haven't tried it. It's non-toxic, it's a water-based paint. That's why you put the polyurethane in it, to give it that strong coating. But it's just really nice to work with, just an easy product to work with. And like I say, just can't sing the praises high enough. This is really good stuff. So try out Mission Models paints, recommended by me. We have it at the store now, so come on down, check it out.